A very good morning to everyone. Today we are going to have a very special online lesson, which is we are going to conduct our experiment virtually. During this CMCO period, we are not able to conduct our experiment in our lab, so we are going to conduct our experiment virtually, and this is very interesting, and I believe that this is the first experience for most of you. So as we know, normally we do our experiment is to investigate the relationship between the variables, different variables. So what we are going to do today is we are going to investigate the factor that affecting oblique projection range. As we learned before, we know that the relationship between the projection range with the projection speed and the projection angle and gravity is given as this one. So today we are going to do our virtual experiment to justify this. How we are going to our virtual lab? Very easy, you just click on the link provided by the teacher. After you click on the link, it will lead you to this page and then we click on lab. This is a very interesting virtual lab. There's a cannon here and then we can fire the missile. We can change the initial speed. You see, change the initial speed, and also we can change the mass diameter of the missile, and then we can change the gravity and determine whether the existence of air resistance or not. So what we are going to do today is we are going to investigate the relationship between the maximum projection range with the variation of projection angle. So after you done an experiment, you want to reset, you just click on this button. Based on the table that teacher given to you, today we are going to investigate the projection range and the projection angle. What is the relationship between them? What we are going to do is set the projection angle at 25 first. Let's say you can change to any other angle as you like, also can. And then let's say we fix the initial speed as 10. We set the gravity as 9.8. And then we can project. Yeah, here we are. This is the maximum projection range. But how we are going to measure the maximum projection range? We can use this tool. We just point on the landing point and then we can get the maximum projection range easily, which is 7.82. And then we record the data in our table. We repeat for other value, 35, project, and measure the range. 9.59, 9.59. We repeat for the angle of 45, project, and we measure the range again, 10.2. And then we can repeat for 55, project, and measure the range again. Now the projection range is same as just now, 9.59. You can repeat by yourself. And then in the graph, after you key in the data, we can obtain the graph as shown. Teacher have put the formula inside, so this is in Excel. Excel is very advanced. It can help us to calculate all the according to our formula, and then the graph will straight display like this. So in the graph, we can see the relationship between the maximum projection range with the projection angle. And in the second graph, we can see the relationship between the range with the sine 2 theta. So this is a very advanced tool. So normally we have to plot ourselves in graph paper and then only we can obtain the relationship between them. But now we learn to do all this in Excel. After doing this, you can reset the experiment and then you can investigate the relationship between the range with the projection speed. You can change the projection speed here. You can do it according to the data that teacher provide in the table. And then you will obtain a chart from the graph. You can see the relationship between them. Same goes to the third experiment. We are going to investigate the relationship between the range with the acceleration of gravity You can change the acceleration of gravity here just according to the data that teacher given, and then you do the experiment by yourself. You can record all the reading in the table provided, and you will get the result here. After you get the result, we can make the conclusion. The learning outcomes for today's lesson is we learn to conduct virtual experiment. During this CMCO period, we are not able to do our experiment in our lab, so we learn how to conduct our virtual experiment. And we learn how to record and analyze our data by using Excel instead of using our calculator and graph paper. And lastly, we understand the relationship between the projection range with projection angle, projection speed, and gravity as well. That's all for today's lesson. Hope all of you can enjoy the virtual experiment and enjoy your lesson today. Thank you very much.